for something more. Today we're exposing 7 subtle but powerful signs that a married woman might be interested in you, beyond just small talk. And trust me, the last one, it's a total game changer. Sign 1, she finds excuses to be around you. At first, it might seem like nothing more than innocent coincidences, small interactions, fleeting encounters, a few more smiles exchanged than usual. But as time passes, you begin to notice a pattern emerging. She's not just happening to be in your vicinity, she's seeking out your presence, and while it could be easy to brush it off, deep down, you start to feel there's a reason behind it. What makes this behavior stand out is the subtlety of her approach. At first glance, everything looks perfectly normal. She starts popping up in places you'd never expect. Near your desk, at the same coffee shop, on the same walking route after work. But here's the kicker. She isn't just showing up by chance. She's designed her schedule, her habits, and her routine around the idea of being close to you, even if it's in the most casual of ways. It starts small. Perhaps you both attend a meeting at work, and you notice that for the first time she sits beside you. Then, out of nowhere, she begins to hang around longer after work, asking if you need anything, offering to walk you to your car, or making small talk about your day. You think, well, maybe she's just being friendly, but deep down, you know the intention isn't just to be friendly. There's something more, something she isn't saying out loud. As this pattern unfolds, she becomes adept at crafting situations where she can be around you more often. She's always forgotten her water bottle at the gym, leaving her the perfect excuse to return to the same workout session you're at. Or she'll mention a book she's reading that just happens to be the same one you're into. It's as though she's molding her interests and habits to align with yours, shaping her presence to fit into your life seamlessly. But it's not a coincidence. It's carefully calculated, an effort to embed herself deeper into your world. But what truly reveals her intentions are the moments where her presence feels like it's been engineered just for you. Have you noticed that during group events, she manages to stand near you without drawing attention? Or when the group begins to scatter, she stays close, drawing you into personal conversations that feel more intimate than necessary. These aren't accidental occurrences. These are the moments when she's using her proximity to you as a subtle form of connection. She might even mention how much she enjoys your company, emphasizing how easy it is to talk to you, how refreshing it feels to have a conversation with someone who truly understands. The chances of her accidentally ending up next to you or near you during these moments are slim, and you start to realize that she's been making sure you see her as part of your daily rhythm. Her physical presence becomes a fixture in your environment, and the more time she spends near you, the more comfortable she becomes in her proximity, often stepping a little closer, lingering a little longer than what's needed. It's not overt, but it's deliberate, a series of small, calculated gestures that create an undeniable feeling of closeness. It's not just physical proximity she's after. She's also investing emotionally. Have you ever caught her sharing personal details, seemingly out of nowhere? Perhaps a conversation about a fight she had with her spouse, or a complaint about her life that feels slightly too intimate for the setting. These moments are designed to deepen the connection between you two, creating a bridge where before there was only a gap. She might subtly reveal a vulnerability, a secret about her relationship, or a frustration in her life, and as she does so, she's gauging your emotional response. She wants to see how much she can open up without it feeling forced, to test the waters of intimacy and make you feel like you're her safe haven. Someone who understands, someone who listens. When she's constantly finding reasons to be around you, it's not just about wanting your attention, it's about wanting to build something more. Something beyond the casual, beyond the surface-level friendship or co-worker relationship. She's creating opportunities for connection, planting seeds of closeness, and seeing if you'll water them. She wants to see if you'll reciprocate. if you'll pick up on these cues and maybe even lean in, making the space between you two even more charged, more intense. At first, you might think it's innocent. Perhaps she's just friendly, a social butterfly, or maybe you've convinced yourself that these small interactions are nothing more than coincidence. But when you start to connect the dots, the physical presence, the emotional vulnerability, the subtle touches, and the lingering moments, you realize something has shifted. She's not just around you by chance. She's making sure she stays in your orbit, finding every possible reason to be close, to be present, to be available, without overstepping. It's a dance, a slow-burning strategy that is as much about timing as it is about intention. The real question is, how long will it take before you realize she's not just around you for convenience? How long before the closeness starts to feel like more than just proximity, and you can no longer ignore the undeniable chemistry that's been building between you two all along? Sign 2. She makes prolonged eye contact. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where a woman, especially a married one, seems to be staring at you a little longer than what's typical? You might think it's a coincidence or perhaps just casual eye contact. But here's the thing, prolonged eye contact, especially when it comes from someone who's already in a committed relationship, is rarely just a simple look. It's much more than that. When a married woman looks into your eyes for an extended period, it's not just about seeing you, it's about connecting with you on a deeper level. It's as though her eyes are reaching out, trying to make contact with your soul, speaking words that her lips may be too hesitant to say. Now, we all know that eye contact is a fundamental part of human interaction, but there's a fine line between the casual glance and the kind of intense, lingering look that leaves you wondering what's behind it. Think about it. How often have you found yourself locked in a gaze with someone and felt this unspoken tension, this undeniable attraction hanging in the air? When it comes from a married woman, this can be a silent but very powerful indicator that she's not only interested in you, but might be secretly craving something more than what she has in her current relationship. It's as if her eyes are speaking volumes, even though her lips remain still. She might not be able to express her feelings openly, perhaps because of her marriage or the fear of societal judgment, but her eyes are giving her away in a way that words can't. But why does this happen? Prolonged eye contact is often an unconscious action that signals a desire to bond, to connect in a way that feels intimate and personal. In many ways, the eyes are the most honest part of the body. While words can be faked, eyes tell the truth. So, when a married woman makes intense eye contact with you, especially if it's prolonged and filled with intensity, it's a form of emotional engagement. She might be testing the waters to see if you're noticing her, if you're reading the signals she's sending without saying a word. And sometimes it's not even about a physical attraction. It can be about the emotional connection she feels is missing in her marriage. But here's the catch. This prolonged gaze could also be a silent challenge, an invitation for you to respond. It's as though she's daring you to acknowledge the tension, to pick up on the clues she's leaving behind. The question is, will you? Because when a married woman holds eye contact longer than usual, she's not just looking at you, she's sending a message. It's a test, a signal that she might be looking for more than just friendship or casual interaction. And sometimes in these moments, it's as if the world around you fades away. The background noise disappears, and all that matters is the connection in that fleeting moment. The fascinating part? This form of eye contact is often subtle, but deeply intentional. It's not about her looking at you out of nowhere. It's about the lingering moments, those times when her gaze doesn't break away like it would with others. It's a way of saying, I'm interested, I want something more, or I'm exploring a different side of myself. She might not be ready to act on it, or perhaps she's unsure of what to do with these feelings. But the eye contact is a reflection of her emotional state, a sign of longing, curiosity, and maybe even frustration with her current situation. So the next time you find yourself the target of prolonged eye contact from a married woman, ask yourself, what's really behind those eyes? Are you seeing the surface level, or are you catching a glimpse of something deeper? That lingering gaze might just be the first sign of a hidden desire, something that she's not expressing openly, but is still very much present. The eyes can say more than 1,000 words, and if you're paying attention, they might be telling you a story of unspoken feelings, unfulfilled needs, and a longing for something or someone else. In the world of human attraction, eye contact is one of the most potent and underappreciated tools we have. But for a married woman, it's often more than just flirtation. It's a call for connection, an emotional plea, and sometimes even a form of silent rebellion. And when you start noticing these moments, you'll realize that what's happening in her eyes might just be a reflection of what she wishes she could say out loud. It's up to you to recognize it, understand it, and decide what to do with that knowledge. Sign 3. She compliments you excessively. When a married woman begins to shower you with excessive, almost relentless compliments, it can easily be dismissed as a simple act of kindness or a friendly gesture. However, in the context of extramarital interest, these compliments are rarely innocent. What begins as a friendly acknowledgement of something about you, perhaps your appearance, your accomplishments, or your personality, slowly transforms into something more frequent, more targeted, and at times, even personal. It's not just a, "Hey, you look good today" anymore, but rather an onslaught of compliments designed to make you feel uniquely appreciated in ways that go beyond the ordinary. Her compliments may start off with remarks about your physical traits, your smile, your style, the way you carry yourself. These aren't just passing comments. They're often said with an intensity that makes you feel like you're the center of her world in that moment. She may tell you how handsome you are, how much she admires your confidence, or how you have a great sense of humor. But it's more than just surface-level praise. It might feel genuine, but it's designed to make you feel validated and even desired. She might even compliment you on qualities that most people overlook, drawing attention to the smallest details that make you feel special. But as time goes on, these compliments start to become more layered, more specific, and more personal. She could start praising you for your intelligence or the way you handle situations, subtly implying that she finds your mindset attractive. She might tell you how much she admires the way you talk or the way you manage your life, things that aren't typically praised in casual relationships. It can feel like you're having an intimate conversation where she's not just admiring you for your looks, but also for who you are deep down. And this is the crucial part. Her compliments become a method of connecting with you on a deeper emotional level. It's her way of building rapport, fostering a sense of intimacy that can lead to trust and vulnerability. Why does she do this? Compliments, when delivered in such a consistent and calculated manner, are not just about making you feel good. They are about drawing you closer to her. When a married woman begins complimenting you excessively, she is often attempting to create an emotional bond that feels more intimate than a typical friendship. She might want you to feel as though you're the one who truly understands her, the one who values her in ways her partner doesn't. This constant reinforcement of your worth, while seemingly harmless, is a tactic to make you feel emotionally connected to her, like you're someone she can lean on. These compliments can create a scenario where you begin to crave her approval, even if you don't consciously realize it. You begin to see her as someone who sees you in a light that is rare, someone who makes you feel good about yourself in a way that others don't. The excessive nature of the compliments is often key here. She might throw them out at unexpected times, when you're feeling low, when you're not looking your best, or when you're just having a casual conversation. These compliments come at moments when you least expect them, yet they always make you feel like you're somehow extraordinary in her eyes. It creates a kind of dependency on her approval, even if you don't realize that's what's happening. Over time, you may find yourself looking forward to her praise, seeking her attention more than you would have before, making you more susceptible to her advances. Additionally, these compliments are not just about boosting your ego, they are also about testing your reaction. She is observing how you respond to this kind of attention. Does it make you uncomfortable, or do you thrive under it? The more she sees you enjoying the praise, the more she will continue with it, ultimately pushing boundaries and making you feel more emotionally engaged with her. It's a slow process, one that can seem harmless, but it's a tactic that can evolve into something much more dangerous. What she's trying to do is create a space where you feel wanted, where your value is recognized, not just as a friend, but as someone she admires and potentially desires. As these compliments build up, they start to shift the dynamics between you. It's no longer just a friendly back and forth. It's a delicate dance where she's leading you closer to a place where the lines between friendship and something more blurred. The more you enjoy these compliments, the more invested you become in her attention. If you begin to notice that the compliments are no longer just about your looks or character, but are starting to feel more personal or intimate, it could be a warning sign that she's not just admiring you as a friend. She may be slowly trying to pull you into her emotional sphere, preparing you for something more, something she's not willing to admit, but something she's subtly trying to create with you. Her excessive praise might be an innocent form of flirting, or it might be the first step in creating a deeper emotional attachment. Regardless, it's a tactic to draw you closer, to make you feel like you're someone special, to ignite the possibility of an emotional and perhaps even physical affair. Sign 4. She talks about her unhappy marriage. When a married woman begins to confide in you about her unhappy marriage, it's not just a random conversation, it's a carefully calculated act, one that should not be brushed off as merely harmless venting. Sure, everyone has their ups and downs in their relationship, but the frequency, depth, and vulnerability in these conversations could signal a much more profound emotional shift. You may notice that she starts sharing intimate details about her partner, painting a picture of constant disappointment, frustration, or a lack of affection. At first, she may mention the little things. Perhaps her husband never listens to her, they rarely spend quality time together, or he doesn't help out around the house. But soon, as the conversations progress, the layers peel back, and the dissatisfaction becomes more apparent. She might talk about feeling neglected emotionally or physically, or how the spark that once existed between her and her husband seems to have faded into the background of their daily routine. You may even hear that the marriage feels more like a friendship than a romantic partnership, with no real connection or excitement anymore. This is when the red flags should start popping up. Because as she tells you all of these things, it's not just a cry for help or an innocent confession. It's likely that she's testing you, your empathy, your attentiveness, and importantly, your willingness to listen. If you're being honest with yourself, you'll start to realize that her complaints are less about fixing her marriage and more about opening up a new emotional channel with you. There's a psychological mechanism at work here. She's searching for validation, and if you give her that validation in the right way, she might begin to see you not just as a listener, but as someone who might understand her in a way her husband never does. Now let's consider the power dynamics here. She has a partner, but she's choosing to confide in you. This in itself is significant. Her decision to share her personal struggles with you is a form of emotional intimacy, and emotional intimacy often leads to physical intimacy if the circumstances align. She may not be actively looking for an affair at first, but by emotionally unloading on you, she is subconsciously setting the stage for a deeper connection. It may seem innocent at first, a casual conversation over coffee, a late-night text, or an honest chat during a chance encounter. But as she shares more, you may notice something else happening beneath the surface. You begin to feel like you're the only person who truly understands her. She might say things like, "You're the only one who listens," or "I've never felt heard like this before." These are not just compliments, they're signals that she is emotionally investing in you. Let's take this a step further. Once a woman starts to open up about her unhappiness, she is laying the groundwork for a possible emotional or physical affair, though she might not even consciously realize it herself at first. Why? Because she is looking for an outlet for the unfulfilled needs in her marriage. She may tell you things like, "I don't feel loved anymore," or "He never appreciates me." These words are loaded, not with despair alone, but with an unspoken invitation for you to step into that void. You might find yourself in a position where you're not just comforting her, you're becoming her emotional anchor, her confidant, and a source of the attention and care she craves. Every time she shares her frustration, she may be gauging your reaction. If you respond in a way that shows compassion, empathy, or even the faintest hint of flirtation, you are unknowingly crossing the boundaries she has set for herself. In her mind, you are fulfilling the emotional needs her husband isn't, and she begins to see you as a potential alternative. What makes this sign particularly dangerous is the gradual shift that happens. At first, she may still be trying to fix her marriage, or at least make sense of it. But as the emotional dependency on you deepens, so does the sense of attraction. You might not notice it at first, but soon your conversations take on a new tone. She starts seeking your advice on personal matters, asking about your views on relationships, and even discussing topics like what you would do if you were in her situation. All of a sudden, you've gone from being her confidant to someone she sees as a potential partner who could fill the emotional gap she's been complaining about. And here's where the situation can become even more complex. As she continues to express her dissatisfaction, she starts to wonder what life could be like if she had someone who truly understood her. This is the tipping point. If you respond with warmth, affection, or show any hint of interest in something beyond friendship, she might start thinking of you as the solution to her unhappiness. She may even start subtly hinting at how your connection feels more genuine than what she experiences in her marriage. The more she talks about her dissatisfaction, the more she may begin to equate you with the excitement and emotional fulfillment she's missing. And this is where the lines blur. What began as an innocent conversation about her marital issues could quickly morph into a dangerous emotional affair. As her feelings for you grow, she might become more subtle in her actions, perhaps engaging in flirtatious behavior or giving you signals that she's available in a way that she isn't with her husband. These signals could range from light touches to lingering gazes, or perhaps a sudden change in her tone when she speaks to you. She might start to seek out more opportunities to spend time with you, to be in your presence. And if she senses that you're receptive to her feelings, the emotional barrier she's built around herself might begin to crumble. The key thing to remember here is that when a married woman starts to share the intimate details of her unhappy marriage, it's not just about her trying to fix things with her husband. She's positioning herself to explore the possibility of something more with you. Whether or not it crosses the line into infidelity depends on how you respond and how much you invest in this emotional exchange. Be careful, because once that line is crossed, there's no turning back. What was once a conversation about unhappiness could soon spiral into an affair, complicating both of your lives in ways that are hard to undo. So, are you ready to stop being the meerkat and embrace the lion's power? If so, this is your moment. Stand up, take action, and show the world who you are. The power is in your hands. Be the lion, be the leader, be the man who inspires, challenges, and attracts women. And everyone will be drawn to your energy. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you in the next one. She may even start to compare herself to other women in your life, wondering if she measures up. This is a more internal form of jealousy, one that doesn't always get vocalized, but instead gets expressed through insecurity and subtle attempts to gain your attention. She might start saying things like, "I bet she's better at that than I am," or "She's probably more fun to hang out with, huh?" These comments may seem like fishing for compliments, but they're actually a form of testing your loyalty, your attraction, and your emotional commitment. It's as though she's putting herself up against the other women in your life, trying to gauge how she stands in comparison, all while hoping that you'll reassure her and remind her that she's the one you're truly interested in. One of the most telling signs of jealousy is how she reacts to physical closeness between you and another woman. This might occur in a social setting or even in private moments when the two of you are spending time together. If she begins to act awkwardly or uncomfortable whenever you stand too close to another woman or share a physical gesture like a hug or a friendly touch, it's a strong sign of jealousy. These feelings might not be expressed verbally, but her discomfort or her sudden need to distance herself can reveal how she truly feels deep down. If you notice her casting glances toward you and the other woman, or if she gives you an icy stare when she perceives you getting too cozy with someone else, that's her jealousy speaking louder than words. Her jealousy might also become more pronounced if you're in a group setting and other women seem to gravitate toward you. She might subtly try to outshine them or make sure she's always in your line of sight. This could be through engaging you in conversation more frequently, laughing a little louder at your jokes, or trying to make herself appear more charming or attractive. It's not just about competing for your attention. It's about asserting her place as the woman who belongs by your side. If she's competing with other women, whether subtly or overtly, it indicates that she feels threatened by the idea of losing your affection or attention to someone else. Perhaps the most telling part of her jealousy is how she begins to react when she senses you pulling away, even if only for a moment. If you spend more time with other women or mention other people you're close with, she might begin to withdraw emotionally, becoming distant or moody. She may even start to show more overt signs of longing when you're not around, trying to reclaim your focus by making herself indispensable in your life. The deeper the emotional connection she feels toward you, the more intense her jealousy becomes. In some cases, this can lead her to act out, seeking attention or confirmation from you in ways that seem irrational or out of character. But these reactions are often rooted in a deeper emotional truth. She's developing feelings for you, and she doesn't want to share you with anyone else. In the end, jealousy is often a silent cry for help, or a hidden expression of desire. For a married woman, the jealousy you witness could be the first inkling that her emotions are no longer just attached to her spouse, but are drifting towards someone else. It's not just about possessing you, it's about claiming you emotionally, testing the boundaries, and seeing if you might be interested in crossing that line with her. Recognizing these signs early can help you navigate the situation with awareness and caution. It's important to understand that while jealousy might seem like a negative emotion, in this case, it's a form of attraction, a signal that she's looking for something more than just friendship or a casual connection. How you respond to these signs will determine how far this dynamic goes and whether you'll allow her emotions to take the relationship into new, uncharted waters. Sign 6. She initiates physical touch. Let's start by addressing something important. Physical touch doesn't always mean what we think it does. But when a married woman initiates touch with you repeatedly, it's rarely just about a friendly gesture. There's a deeper layer at play. Initially, it could seem innocent. A quick touch on the arm, a brush against your side, or a tap on the shoulder when she's passing by. These small, almost unconscious touches might be easy to brush off. But when they start happening frequently and in certain contexts, you can be sure there's intent behind them. Now think about this. Physical touch can be one of the most subtle yet powerful ways for a woman to communicate. It's a language that speaks directly to emotions and subconscious desires. A married woman who's in a relationship yet feels a pull toward you might use touch to see how you respond without crossing any boundaries. She might start with a simple hand on your back as you walk together, or a playful push during a conversation. These small moments seem casual, but they signal an interest that goes beyond friendship. It's not just about touching for the sake of touch. It's a careful strategy. At first, the touches are light, almost as if testing the waters. She may touch your arm lightly as she makes a point in conversation, or lean in just a bit too close when talking. But here's the thing. It's deliberate. The subtle nature of these touches suggests that she is trying to create intimacy without directly saying anything. She wants to see if you'll notice and, more importantly, how you'll respond. Now, as the interactions continue, you might start noticing these touches getting a little more intentional. Perhaps she's not just touching your arm anymore, she's brushing against your leg under the table. Maybe she leans in a little too close when you're talking, her hand grazing yours just a little longer than necessary. It might be in a group setting, but somehow her hand lingers on your back longer than it does with others. Or when you're sitting next to each other, she subtly shifts closer, making the physical space between you smaller. These actions aren't random. She's deliberately creating moments of physical closeness, testing the boundaries, gauging your level of receptivity. Let's talk about the psychology behind this. Why would a married woman start touching you in ways that suggest more than just casual friendship? Physical touch is a powerful tool in establishing connection and closeness. It releases oxytocin, the so-called bonding hormone, which naturally makes us feel more connected and attached to the person we're touching. When she initiates touch, she might not be consciously thinking about the chemical reactions at play, but subconsciously, her body is trying to create an emotional connection, and she's hoping you'll pick up on that. What's even more telling is that she's not waiting for you to make the first move. In fact, she's stepping into the role of the initiator, which can be a big deal, especially for someone who's already in a committed relationship. By initiating touch, she's taking control of the situation, showing you that she's open to something more. This is no longer just about small talk or casual interaction. It's a signal that she's testing the waters of potential attraction. But here's where it gets interesting. The touch isn't just about physical attraction, but also a desire to see if you'll meet her halfway. It's a bit like playing a game of emotional chess. She's laying the groundwork, subtly pushing the boundaries, and she's watching how you react. If you lean into the touch, smile, and reciprocate in a similar manner, it encourages her to take it further. She'll interpret your response as a green light to continue initiating contact, perhaps even escalating it over time. You might notice her gradually increasing the level of physical touch. It might start with just the arm or shoulder, but soon she may find more opportunities to get closer. She might touch your arm with more intention, or stand just a little closer to you than necessary. Or, in a quiet, more intimate setting, she might find ways to gently place her hand on your knee, or touch your leg under the table. All of these small actions are not just about feeling close, but about testing if there's potential for something more. And here's the thing. She's not doing this with just anyone. This behavior is reserved for someone she sees as a potential partner, or at the very least, someone who she's drawn to in a way that goes beyond mere friendship. Pay attention to how she behaves around other people. If she's not touchy-feely with her friends or co-workers, but suddenly starts initiating touch with you, that's a huge sign. Her behavior is different with you because she feels something different with you. She's making a choice to bring you into her personal space, which is a clear indicator that there's something beyond casual friendship happening in her mind. Now, here's where things can get tricky. You might find yourself becoming more comfortable with these touches, reciprocating them, and the dynamic between you two starts to shift. But the key here is to be aware of the intentions behind the touch. She may be giving you subtle clues, but these are just signs. It's important to keep a careful watch on the overall context. She might be trying to gauge if you're receptive to her advances, and if you are, you could find yourself in a position where the lines between friendship and something more blur even further. There's another layer to this too: her own emotional state. Married women who find themselves exploring extramarital connections often feel a sense of frustration or unfulfillment in their current relationship. The touch, then, is more than just an expression of desire for you. It's a longing for something that's been missing. By initiating touch, she's trying to create a connection that she might not be receiving at home. It's not just about attraction, it's about validation, intimacy, and emotional connection that she's seeking. But here's the big question. What happens if you don't respond in the way she's hoping? That's where things get interesting. She might start pulling back, or alternatively, she may find other ways to escalate the situation, hoping to trigger a response from you. So, if you're noticing these signs, understand that she's looking for a reaction from you, and how you respond could potentially push this interaction in one direction or another. In conclusion, physical touch from a married woman is more than just a friendly gesture. It's a calculated move to see how you react, to test whether there's something more between you two. These touches are signals, both subtle and direct, that she's interested in exploring a deeper connection. So, the next time you find yourself in a situation where she's initiating touch, take a step back and evaluate the context. Is it just friendly, or is it a deliberate attempt to spark a deeper connection? Pay attention, because her body language might just be telling you everything you need to know. Sign 7. She communicates at odd hours. When a married woman starts communicating with you at strange or odd hours, especially when she's supposed to be busy or with her family, there's a deeper story unfolding. These hours often extend beyond the usual social patterns. She might message you late at night or early in the morning when most people are still asleep. The oddness of these times isn't just about convenience or necessity, but about intention. She's intentionally reaching out during these hours because it offers her a sense of privacy, detachment from her routine, and perhaps a thrill of secrecy. These late night or early morning conversations are her way of escaping the confines of her marriage. The secret nature of these interactions allows her to engage without feeling the watchful eye of her spouse. It may also indicate that she's developing an emotional or romantic connection, one that feels more genuine or exciting because it's not subject to the same boundaries that her marriage has. There's something about the privacy and the lack of interference from her daily obligations that draws her to you. She may be testing the waters, enjoying the attention, or even building an emotional bridge that could lead to something more. It's essential to recognize that this isn't just about bad timing or a coincidence. When someone makes an effort to connect with you when they know others are less likely to interrupt, it shows that they're seeking something more than casual interaction. They're looking for a deeper connection outside the conventional hours and norms. So, when you find yourself receiving those odd-hour messages or calls, think twice about the motivations behind them. It might not just be about staying connected, but about creating a hidden space where a new relationship can grow. All right, let's be real. If you've noticed these signs, you're not imagining things. A married woman's interest isn't always obvious, but the clues are there. The question is, what will you do about it? Risk the drama or set boundaries? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more eye-opening content like this, hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.